Hi, this is Cheryl. So this is a video about what I'd like to call skeletal sitting. And so if you sit a lot, often that can be really difficult for low back. And particularly if you're having to put your hands forward, there can be a real tendency to sort of achieve that by sort of collapsing backward in order to lift or to hold. And so this is some components of a lesson that really study how to sit with your skeleton and have that process start by having support through your feet so that it's possible to sit in better alignment through your spine, through your pelvis, and your legs down to your feet. And so, helpful to work at this initially not in sitting because we're doing the work of balance in the field of gravity. So, setting up, lying on your back, and working with the process initially of lifting either side of your foot. And so I'm doing my best to demonstrate this way of lifting each edge and having that movement roll through your ankle. And so by contrasting, if we tilt our legs, then you can lift the edges of your feet, but you're not having that movement translate through your ankle. So your goal is to keep your knee pointed towards the ceiling and relatively quiet and simply lift the edges of each foot. But it's helpful to explore this movement with a bit of movement of your legs, because you definitely want to kind of have your legs plugged in to your pelvis when you're sitting. And so this kind of windshield wiper movement, what's helpful to just build your awareness is to make this movement within the constraints of leaving your feet connected to the ground, moving just enough that your feet stay connected. So noticing when you move in a way that has you start to lift your feet, and feeling how the pressure rolls across your feet against the surface and how your legs move within your hip joint. But also helpful to add a little pelvic movement with this too. And so my recommendation with each of these elements is to be able to do them independently and then together, so that you're keeping your feet flat, you're moving your legs, but this time allowing your pelvis to roll in the way that it does. But again, obeying this constraint of keeping your feet flat, some kind of measure of equal pressure through your feet. And so bringing this back up to sitting, what we can sort of notice is that when our feet are more firmly flat against the ground, it puts us up a little bit further on our pelvis. So rather than this kind of, if I roll the inside of my foot up and out a little bit, that immediately puts me on the back part of my pelvis. So with this flatter sort of expanded foot, that then I'm sitting up and my spine naturally sort of rises out of that position of my pelvis. And then this issue about using your hands, there can be this really nice relationship that pressing in and flattening one foot can help you reach and hold and do finer work with your hands, because you've got this nice skeletal base of support that's easier to hold. There's a fatigue that comes in by slouching down because you're off of your skeletal axis. And so it starts with the feet with this even pressure that helps you maintain a kind of line of support from your feet through your legs into your hip joints and up your spine, that's relatively easy to maintain and can be movable and adaptable, using that base of support as a way to move your position in space. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for tuning in.